Alright, this is going to be a very big, important video because we, of course, are going to be talking about the open Hollywood conspiracy that is being exposed right now. One of the main reasons why I really wanted to make this video is because the big media industry, the entertainment news business, will never admit to any wrongdoing and criminal behavior. And this time they have been caught red-handed, covering up, aiding and abetting, being accomplices to not only sexual predators, but also pedophiles. And in this video, we're only gonna get to the tip of the iceberg, which many people feel will destroy this entire industry. And I don't know about you, but for me, an industry that protects and harbors monsters should be toppled. Now, the tip of this iceberg is, of course, media mogul Harvey Weinstein. And this case, just in itself, proves that there is a conspiracy happening. So far, dozens of women are coming out, talking about the sex abuse that they suffered under this politically connected media mogul. And as more details emerge, the situation is becoming more disturbing, as we're finding out that Harvey Weinstein preyed on victims that were also only 17 years of age and tried to get them drunk and sexually abuse them. And I know a lot of people are shocked with these latest revelations, but they shouldn't be, because Hollywood has been giving us hints for years now. The actress Deanna Russo tweeted in 2010 that, quote, "My friend says I need to have sex with Harvey Weinstein to make it in Hollywood. Could I opt out for getting beat up instead, like in a gang?" Gwyneth Paltrow talked about this in 1998.
But he will coerce you to do it.
And so Harvey said, I tell you what, go on and talk about your movie. Is that what Harvey said?
Yeah.
And in return, what will Harvey do for you?
30 Rock even made a skit about this, with one of the actresses saying she's not afraid of anyone in show business, that she, quote, turned down intercourse with Harvey Weinstein, and on no less than 3 occasions out of 5. Seth MacFarlane even made jokes about this.
Congratulations, you 5 ladies no longer have to pretend to be attracted to Harvey Weinstein.
And people in the industry knew well about what Harvey Weinstein was up to, but still remained quiet about it for over 30 years, while Hollywood demonstrated its complicity while dropping hints about Harvey Weinstein out in the open for everyone to see. And ultimately, what we're seeing from all of this is how the corporate Hollywood media empire industry loved this sexual predator until he only got caught. All the while, when the media, celebrities, politicians, and even local law enforcement knew about this and still decided to cover it up. I mean, this man was praised and thanked more than God at the 2015 Oscars, while everyone was still running inside jokes about him being a serious sexual predator. And the cover-up here is really the most sinister aspect of this entire case, as we're learning about how NBC actively protected Weinstein. The top NBC executives squashed the bombshell Harvey Weinstein story, and a reporter had to leave the network and give the story to the New Yorker after facing months of opposition. Now, NBC is responding, saying that they, quote, let the story slip away, but in reality, they killed the entire story, with the reporter on the case saying, quote, NBC did everything they could to delay it, complicate it, and ultimately kill it. The New York City Police Department had secret audio of Weinstein admittedly claiming he groped a woman while sexually harassing another woman at the time, and they still never pressed any charges against him. The New York Times sat on this story for over 13 years, with the reporter who originally worked on this piece in 2004 saying that, quote, I was told at the time that Weinstein had visited the newsroom in person to make his displeasure known. I knew he was a major advertiser in the Times and that he was a powerful person overall. With her also claiming that she got personal phone calls from Matt Damon and Russell Crowe personally vouching for him. And the story never ran until 13 years later. The Weinstein Company was aware of the payouts in 2015, the money Harvey Weinstein would pay his victims to sign NDAs and their life over so they couldn't speak out against his crimes, and they still didn't do anything about it. Now imagine being a victim of Harvey Weinstein, and NBC, the Times, local law enforcement, his company, other celebrities are actively covering up his crimes for him. Imagine viewing all this cover-up and the pressure of actively speaking out against this man and the odds of even getting justice. And because of this cover-up for over 30 years, there most likely won't be any justice in this case, as we're learning right now, that Harvey Weinstein just fled to Europe on his private jet to allegedly turn himself into sex addiction rehab. We've seen a very similar move made by famous director Roman Polanski, who, by the way, raped teens and underage children, ultimately fleeing to Europe to avoid the persecution and sentencing for his unlawful sex with children. A man, by the way, who is still seen as a big hero in Hollywood and praised by Hollywood celebrities. Even Harvey Weinstein in 2009 wrote that Polanski has served his time and, quote, must be free. And now you could see how these sexual predators and pedophiles all protect each other because they're in the same industry, in the upper echelons of it. Now, of course, the FBI just opened up an investigation after Harvey Weinstein, after they feared he would flee the country, and that's exactly what he did, because he could just never come back like Polanski and never be held accountable for his horrible actions. And the reason earlier I stated that Harvey Weinstein is just the tip of the iceberg, it's because Hollywood is filled not only with sexual abusers, but also pedophiles. As Corey Feldman even said that the #1 problem in Hollywood was and is and always will be pedophilia.
Applies to children.
Oh yeah. Not in the same way. It's all done under the radar.
Nobody talks about pedophilia.
It's the big secret.
And it's widespread?
Oh yeah. I was surrounded by them when I was 14 years old. Surrounded. Literally. Didn't even know it. It wasn't until I was old enough to realize what they were and what they wanted and what they were about and the types of people that were surrounding me till I went, oh my God, they were everywhere like vultures.
Now, Corey Feldman came out afterwards and said that he would love to name names, but he still hasn't. Terry Crews has even come out and talked about how he was sexually assaulted by yet another high-level Hollywood executive. So did James Van Der Beek, and even Rob Schneider, who said the mogul is not a lone wolf, and Rob knows it because he too was sexually harassed by a director. Elijah Woods even came out previously before and said that Hollywood has a pedophile problem. This industry needs to be exposed, needs to be toppled, because it is filled with pedophiles and sex abusers, with a lot of these abusers being so powerful that they have still yet to face any repercussions for their horrible actions, with many famous, powerful celebrities even being afraid to name the individuals that still do this to this day. And of course, they're not only connected to the police, the news business, but also high-level politicians, which we all know the same exact thing is going on in US politics. As we exposed the horrible actions by Dennis Hassard, former UK Prime Minister Ted Heath, Jeffrey Epstein, and of course the Jimmy Savile situation that the BBC actively covered up and made sure that Jimmy Savile's connection to the UK establishment was never exposed. And it's not just Hollywood that these crimes happen, they happen also in the upper echelons of the supposed elite community, especially amongst politicians. And to make the situation worse, we're also finding out that the actress who has emerged as a Hollywood voice in the Harvey Weinstein sexual assault scandal has just revealed that Twitter had locked her account on Wednesday night, as she posted evidence that multiple producers were involved in this entire scandal. And we have to understand kind of the bigger dynamics behind everything that's happening here. Because if you look at sexual abuse, it's really all about power and the powerful being able to get away with it. Once you reach a certain level of fame, once you reach a certain level of money, sadly, human beings naturally seek something more than just those two basic things. Damaged human beings who have an empty void within themselves try to fill up that void with those two superficial things, fame and money. And when they reached enough of that, they seek other things like power. The power over other human beings, being able to dominate them, control them, hurt them, silence them, and abuse them, with the elitist perversion of being able to completely get away with it. If you look at the upper echelons of any kind of industry, whether it's political or media, you see rampant cases of these kinds of abuse, and it needs to be stopped. And the only real way to do that is to expose it, is to shine the light on the darkness and show these deprived, monstrous, evil, dark energy, vampire human beings for what they are. And we could only do that with a free and open press, and not a corporate or authoritative press that will ignore the victims of such abuse. Which, by the way, YouTube is now deciding to take away voices like mine and other independent journalists, censoring us while choosing authoritative news sources. Those authoritative voices that, of course, cover up and protect pedophiles and sexual abusers. This is why an independent and free press is more important than ever, and could only be possible because of you and your participation. I'm very curious about what you guys think about this situation and how far the rabbit hole goes in this story. I'll be paying attention very closely to your comments, and of course I want to thank you so much for watching this video and financially supporting us on wearechange.org/donate, allowing us to be a free and independent news organization that is able to talk about these very important issues without any fears or concerns. I love you guys. Thank you again so much for watching.